Welcome to Inspired Vinyasa. My name is Sandra, and for this class, we're going to start on our stomachs in reverse Shavasana. So go ahead and cheer. Coming on down, making a pillow for your head with your arms. Relaxing the legs, closing your eyes. And what I want you to do is I want you to go within. We are looking for that spark, that light, that energy, that space inside where the true self exists. In this class, we are looking for our inner warrior. So that might give you a little hint as to the sequence today. We'll be talking about the story behind the warrior poses, the mythological story, and what that might mean in our world today. So what's the moral, I guess, right? We're going to talk about being a spiritual warrior. And just looking for that inner warrior to come out and play with you on your mat, to understand that a warrior doesn't have to be tough. A warrior can succumb and just be. And so you can feel like a warrior right now in reverse Shavasana without doing anything. So that's what I want you to find within yourself. Take a couple of deep breaths. And then while you're here, allowing my words to be yours for a moment, I am strong. I am compassionate. I am amazing. And I'm giving permission to my inner warrior to come out and have some fun on the mat. And my intention for this class is fill in the blank. So, excuse me, let's start off by keeping that right arm underneath, turning the head to the left. Left hand reaching back to grab the left foot. Draw that foot in for a stretch real quick. A lot of warriors coming our way, so just getting prepared. Go ahead, release that leg. Switch to the other side. And then let go. Let's go ahead and come up onto the forearms in Sphinx. Arms are parallel, spread the fingers wide. Feel the legs activate here. So you're pushing the tops of the feet down, pelvic bone into the earth. Lift through the heart and the chin. Deep inhale. Loud exhale. And just breathing into the low back, making sure the low back feels okay right now. We have not warmed it up. So having said that, little vinyasa between Sphinx and seal pose if it's okay with your back right now. If it's not, don't do it. Just stay right here and breathe. So seal is just lifting up, straightening out the arms, and then exhale, slowly coming back down into Sphinx. Keep going. Find your breath. So rather than following my movement, you're following your breath. Now let's add on just a little bit. When you inhale and straighten the arms, let's just gently lift the gaze. And when you exhale and come back to Sphinx, let's slowly drop the head. And if you've decided to stay in Sphinx, it's just the head then. Inhale, lift the chin. Exhale, drop it down. One more. Perfect. And then let's take the hands out a little bit wider, finding a kind of a low cobra that we can move around in. Start to warm up the spine. And then when you're ready, let's release the ribs back down, slide the hands back, and push all the way into Balasana, child's pose. So breathe into the back space, breathe between the ribs, feel an expansion. And then we're coming on up into table. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Keep going. So probably if you're not new to yoga and you have an established practice, you recognize that there are 3 typical warrior poses, right? Some instructors call them warrior A, B, and C. Some call them warrior 1, 2, and 3. It's the same thing, right? But then there's some other variations like reverse warrior, humble or fallen warrior. And so, where did these poses come from? What's the story behind them? Because we know the yoga poses each have a story. They each have a lesson to teach us. When you're ready, tuck the toes, downward facing dog, walk it out. And then setting both feet down towards the earth, right leg up, 3-legged dog. And then I'm going to step that right foot forward between my hands. I'm going to set that back knee down so I can come up and do half warrior A. So we have the half versions as well, right? Which we might see maybe more in a gentle or restorative class. Take the arms up. Reach, but drop the shoulders. Draw the stomach in a little bit. Inhale here. Exhale, hands to the heart. Stay for the inhale. Exhale is a twist to the right. And then slowly come back to center when you're ready. Release the hands to the earth. And I'm just going to see about straightening out this right leg in front of me. I have the heel on the ground. Flex the foot, pull the toes back. Move the left hip forward so the right hip moves back. And then just breathe here, especially if things are feeling a little tight. If you're okay, you might come down just a little lower. I would definitely play with that stretch first. Don't just dive in. So anyway, the warrior poses are a story about Shiva and his wife, Sati. And when they got married, Sati's father, Daksha, was very upset. He didn't like Shiva at all. Shiva likes to hang out in cemeteries. He wears skulls around his neck. He drinks toxic, beverages to save, the earth. He just doesn't like this guy. So you can well imagine, perhaps if you have a daughter and she showed up with a dude who hangs out in cemeteries and wears skulls, maybe you'd have the same reaction. I don't know. Go ahead, take the hips forward. Find your low lunge. Lift the heart. So anyway, Daksha's extremely upset. Once Sati's married and moves out, he throws this big party and does not invite Sati and Shiva. Sati hears about this party and she's really upset. Like, this is her dad. I mean, he should totally get her and he should be her support system. So she says to Shiva, we should go to this party. And Shiva says, no, your dad already hates me enough. I don't need to add, fuel to the fire. Okay, go ahead. Tuck the back toes, lift that leg, downward facing dog. Send the left leg up when you're ready, three-legged. And then step that left foot forward, set the back knee down, half warrior A. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale here. Exhale, twist to the left. So Sati decides she's going to go to the party. She shows up and her dad, Daksha, says, "What are you doing here? I didn't invite you." And they get into a heated argument. The guests are kind of just standing around listening. They're kind of entertained by all this. But Sati's really upset. Her dad says something like, "Oh, did you show up because you finally realized I was right about your new husband?" Etc., etc. She finally becomes so upset, come back to center, release the hands, go ahead and straighten out that front leg as best you can, pull the right hip forward, play around with the stretch. She gets so upset that she says something like, "You created my body, so I want nothing to do with it." So she sits in meditation and she creates so much inner fire, she explodes. When Shiva hears that Sati has died, he, of course, is shocked. He's sad, but he is mad. Oh, is he mad? Go ahead and bring the weight forward into that low lunge. He tears off one of his dreadlocks and he throws it to the ground, and up rises Virabhadra. Virabhadra is a demon created by Shiva to go get revenge, essentially. The word Virabhadra breaks down into two words, meaning hero and friend. So even though he's aggressive and he's scary looking and he's going for revenge, you can understand how he is a friend of Shiva. Shiva created him, right? Okay, go ahead and tuck the back toes, lift that leg, downward facing dog. We're gonna round the back, come forward into plank. Hold it right here. Breathe, happy place. Downward facing dog. Lift the heels, bend into the knees, crouching dog. And then as though we could kick off, but we're not, the feet won't leave the earth. We're gonna push the earth away to come back forward into our plank. Downward facing dog. Perfect. Crouching dog, lift the heels, ribs settle under the thighs. When you're ready, push into plank. Downward facing dog. Last one, crouching dog. Into plank, and this time, chaturanga. Into cobra. Into child's pose. Kind of see child's pose as the calm before the storm in this sequence. You know, when our warrior comes out, like I said, it doesn't have to be an aggression, but sometimes that's why our inner warrior comes out. How can we interact with our inner warrior in a non-aggressive way? So that is where your yoga tools are really going to come into play. All right, rise back up into table. Downward facing dog when you're ready. And then let's walk the feet forward, Uttanasana, forward fold, top of the mat. Inhale, monkey. Exhale it back down. Come on all the way up. And release the hands to the heart. Deep breath in. Loud exhale. And then shift the weight into the left foot. Let's lift that right knee into crane. You got this. Keep breathing, keep breathing, keep breathing. Okay, right foot is stepping back, warrior A, Virabhadrasana A, right? Virabhadra is the demon. Asana means pose. Virabhadrasana. So we know this is one of the warrior poses, right? Take the arms up. Breathe. let's just hang out here for a second. So Virabhadra goes underground, and he comes up at Daksha's party from underneath the earth. This is his pose, coming up out of the earth and reaching upwards. So take the gaze up slightly. This is a pose about potential, your potential. Breathe. And you'll notice the longer you hold this pose, the more your body's weaknesses in quotes, are exposed. We start to feel, well, maybe I haven't done enough thigh exercises, or wherever your body's feeling it, right? It's okay. Just acknowledge that. Breathe into it. We're going to be okay here. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Good job. Slowly release the hands. Pivot on that back foot so you're on the ball of that foot. Step back to plank, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Downward facing dog when you're ready. And then you can get to forward fold however you want to. So I'm going to come to crouching dog and just take a little jump. You can bunny hop, one big step, whatever makes you happy. Inhale, monkey. And let it go. All the way up. And hands to the heart. Shift the weight into the right foot. Left knee's coming up into crane. Stay with the breath. Left foot stepping back, warrior A. So that's an angled foot, right? It's about 45 degrees. Hips are kind of where they need to be. I think that the hips need to keep that back knee in alignment with the foot in case you had to bend it. If you square the hips forward and try to bend that knee, bad things are going to happen. So I like to keep that hip comfortably pulled back wherever it needs to be. Arms are reaching up, right? Your hands, I know you can't see them. I go off of camera here, but your fingers are locked together and they're straight. These are your swords, right? It's a strong pose, but there has to be softness in it too. This is what I mean about being a warrior without aggression. If we are so stoically posed here, it's going to be harder to maintain it, right? Okay, breathe, find the weaknesses. You can make whatever adjustments you need to, right? You have this. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step back to plank. Chaturanga. Into cobra. Downward facing dog. Deep inhale. Loud exhale. Crouching dog. Push off into plank. Hold it there. Downward facing. Crouching dog. Let's get a little lower this time. Push forward into plank. Downward dog. Last one, crouching dog. Get really, really, really low. Push forward into plank. Chaturanga. Into cobra. Into child's pose. Taking a breath there. Okay, so we have Virabhadra, who has just risen up through the earth, and he is a scary looking creature. And remember, he's representing Shiva's anger and his revenge. So he kills everybody. And he chops off Daksha's head. So we'll get to that as we get to Virabhadrasana B. So rise up into table. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Right leg up, three-legged. Step that foot forward between the hands. Pivot that back foot, not at 45 anymore. Toes are facing to the left. And then come on up, cartwheel the arms. Warrior B. So Virabhadrasana B. It is a solid pose, but there has to be some peace to it as well. Make sure the shoulders are over the hips. Make sure that front knee is pulling backwards. And then the arms here. So look forward over that right arm and imagine, go ahead, make a slight fist. This is the arm that's holding the sword. So you can kind of see it. It's kind of like a fencer's pose, right? If you kind of give your right arm, your right wrist a little wiggle, that's how Virabhadra chops off Daksha's head. Breathe. You can see in this pose too, the longer we hold it, the more we're going to find the weaknesses in the body. So, having said that, I'm going to tell you right now to deepen this a little, sink lower, but if you need to maintain some energy, you're too tired, the front thigh was already not pleased about holding this, then don't do it. It's all up to you. All right, cartwheel the hands down to the earth. As we step back, that right leg's going up, three-legged dog. And then bring that leg down, come forward into plank, chaturanga, cobra. Release down, tuck the toes, push up to plank first, then dog, and breathe. Perfect, deep inhale. Loud sigh. Float the left leg up, three-legged dog. Step that foot forward between the hands, pivot that back foot as you cartwheel the arms up, warrior V. Again, check the alignment. Are the toes on the back foot facing directly to your right or the same way your chest is facing? Shoulders over hips, front knee aiming directly out over the toes, and then grab that sword. Feel your inner strength, your inner warrior. But let go of the aggression. Sink this a little deeper if you want to. Breathe. Cartwheel the hands to the earth. Step back to plank. Chaturanga. Into cobra. Take it to child's pose. Now, while you're here, this is going to sound really strange, but take your focus to the two big toes and the ball mounts of the big toes. Those are going to be your strength points in Warrior C. So, let's rise up into table. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Perfect. Float the right leg up. Oops, hit the door. Three-legged dog. Bring that right foot forward between the hands. Let's just pause right here. So we're going to kick off with that back leg. Find the support in the front foot, especially in the ball mount of that front foot. Kick off. I want you to find your balance first. And then, hello Ganesh, arms reach forward. So push the right foot down. Feel a lengthening coming up through the leg. The lifted leg, the left one, active. Try to level out the hips. The arms are reaching forward because now you are Virabhadra, picking up Daksha's head and putting it on a staff. I'm sorry, it's a little grotesque, but that's what he's doing. Okay, go ahead. Come to slowly forward fold. Hang out right here. Take it to monkey and come back down. Plant the hands, bend into the knees, step back to plank. Downward facing dog. Shift your weight into the right foot, send the left leg up, three-legged dog. Step the left foot forward between the hands when you're ready. Kick off, find your balance. Take the arms forward, warrior C. Good job, slow release. Forward fold, take the arms to ragdoll and hang out right there. So, Shiva comes to show up and he sees all the destruction all the death, all the blood, and now he feels guilty. And so he finds that Daksha has been beheaded, and kind of like similar with Ganesha's story, Shiva finds a goat head, puts that on Daksha, and brings Daksha back to life. Unfortunately, he can't bring Sati back to life. He picks up her body and takes her with him. Release the arms back down. Slowly make your way all the way up. Reach the arms up high. Exhale, hands to the heart. So if you're wondering how this story could possibly relate to a current world, I'm getting there. Deep breath in. Let it go. Okay, left foot steps back. Warrior A, Virabhadrasana. Foot's at 45 degrees. Sink into that front knee. Lift the arms. Find your breath. Take the gaze up slightly. Again, this pose is about potential that we're reaching for. Stay with that beautiful breath. When you're ready, open this up. Virabhadrasana B. Replant that back foot. Take a moment to settle in. Your gaze is over the front arm in this pose. Good job. Now, reverse warrior. So take the right hand, turn the palm upward. That arm's going up, the back arm is coming down. So this is another pose you could say is about potential and what you want to manifest. That top arm is reaching for your dreams. The back arm realizes it has support. What support? These are your yoga tools I was talking about, right? So when the pose becomes tough, maybe that front thigh long ago started, chatting up a story here. But off the mat, when life becomes tough, you still have support. You might not see it. So how do you learn to call upon it? How do you learn to use it? In yoga, your support is your meditation, your pranayama, your breath work. It might just be sitting in child's pose, knowing you need to hug within and protect that inner child, inner truth, right? Breathe here. Sink it deeper. This is great. This is when it becomes handy that we're on video. You can't throw any props at me. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, stay in reverse warrior, but straighten out that front leg without locking the knee. Nice. Now I'm going to turn completely to the direction my heart's facing into starfish. So I'm pivoting on the right foot. I'm actually going to switch both feet so that the heels are in, toes are wide, arms are just reaching up, kind of in a V shape. And then bring the hands to the heart. Pigeon toe the feet. Oop. There we go. And come on down into a wide fold. And just hanging out with the breath right there. So, how does this all relate? The warrior pose is the story of Shiva and Sati and Daksha. All have to do with your inner truth and your ego. Daksha represents, ego. And so it's this higher truth rising up. It wants to combat the ego, but we have to learn you cannot distinguish the parts of you don't like. You cannot just completely get rid of what you might consider to be the dark side, your dark side. You have to figure out how you work with those parts of you and how you make change. And if we go full in fighting mode against ourselves, all we're going to do is create angst. We need that compassion and kindness. We need to look within and go, okay, this is the part of me I don't want to acknowledge. Where do I go with that? Right? So there's a softening and an acknowledging of that part. So Daksha is ego, right? Okay. Get your arms straight underneath you. Inhale that right arm up to the ceiling. Open this up. Nice twist. Deepen the breath. Release that right arm. Inhale the left arm up. So when Shiva brings Daksha back to life, that represents that idea that you can't just kill off the parts of you don't like. You have to work with them. Release the hand back down. Walk the hands towards the right foot so we can pivot and step back to plank. Come onto the tops of the feet. Upward facing dog. Downward facing. And then however you want to get to forward fold. Inhale halfway. And let it go. All the way up. Take the arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Step the right foot back, warrior A. Take your time, finding your balance and your alignment. Reach the arms up, lift the gaze. Settle into your breath. If I'm not mistaken, we kind of held this for a while on the first side, and you're not here to bribe me out of it, so find your happy place. Don't fight the pose. It's the same theme, the same lesson from that story. Don't fight the pose. Settle into it, work with it. Good job. Warrior B. Where are you looking? So when I say, you're looking over the front arm, I don't mean off in the distance. Like, what do you see in front of you? Is there a picture on the wall? Are you looking out of a window? It's a softening of the drishti, the gaze. So it could be looking out over the middle finger. It could be taking your focus to your nose and looking straight down the nose. So everything else kind of blurs out. All right, turn the left hand open. Reverse warrior. That back hand feels the support that is there. We're going to slowly straighten out that front leg. Remember not to lock the knee. And then starfish. So change the feet up. Arms are reaching up in a V. I'm going to turn to face you because I just feel like I'm being rude. Fabulous. Now pigeon toe the feet. Take the hands to the heart. Turn the fingers to the earth. Come back down into your wide angled fold. So through our inner warriorship, if that's a kind of a word, we can befriend our ego. Remember, Virabhadra means hero and friend. So while we might not typically see the ego as our hero or our friend, we have to learn to work with it. All right, straighten those arms underneath you. Inhale the left arm up. Top palm is facing the direction you're looking. On an exhale, left hand comes down. Right arm reaches. Exhale, bring the arm down. Both hands are walking to the left foot as you pivot so you can step back into plank. Come on to the tops of the feet, upward facing dog. Now, I'm going to slowly bend into my elbows to drop my thighs down. My hips keep coming. Slowly roll the ribs down and come back to reverse Shavasana, just letting everything go. Just close your eyes. Deepen the breath. No, we're not at Shavasana yet. Don't tune me out. Okay, so how do we incorporate the idea of a spiritual warrior? So I think a spiritual warrior is being able to exercise compassion, kindness, tackles human injustices. We need spiritual warriors right now. And that doesn't have to mean that you are running out into the world with that sword and you're just going crazy. It could mean you need to be a spiritual warrior defending your own energy right now. And that's okay, right? We have to be strong in order to give. So I want you to think about what it means to sit in your own truth. Where are you at? Probably pretty content right now because you're in reverse Shavasana. We're not staying there. Okay. Will you go ahead and roll over so you're on your back? Hug the knees into the heart for a moment. And then take your time, take a few times. I want you to rock your way up to a seated pose, but enjoy the ride, have fun, play. So I'm going to give you a moment so you can keep rocking. All right, I'm assuming we're all up. So here we're going to come into half boat. So go ahead and take the hands behind the thighs first, tip back, lengthen the spine, and then let's get the shins parallel to the ground. Can you glue the legs together? That's going to be a little bit of work. Keep breathing. Now let go with the hands. Lengthen this out. We're not coming all the way down. Pull it back in. Lengthen it out. Pull it back in. Keep going. Link it with the breath. It needs to be a vinyasa, right? Inhale, exhale. Two more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale to cobbler. Soles of the feet together. Whew. Close your eyes. Sit up tall. So the balance of being a warrior, yet being soft, non-aggressive. There has to be harmony, right? That's how I like to do my sequences. A little bit of work, a little bit of rest. A little bit of work, a little bit of rest. I kind of like the harmony rather than kick in high gear for the entire time and then land in Shavasana. So hopefully you're enjoying a few breaks in between here. Okay. Bring the hands behind you. Let's pull the knees up towards each other. Widen out the feet. Push off. Find your way to Malasana. Yeah? Couple more breaths. And then push the ground away. Come all the way up. Hands to the heart. Okay, so back to the top of your mat if that's not where you ended up. Whew, here we go. You ready? All right. I heard yeses, I don't know. So take that left foot, step back, warrior A, Virabhadrasana A. Drop the arms, bring them behind you, yoga mudra. Interlace the fingers, palms together, slide the shoulder blades in and down, humble or fallen warrior. So coming down over that front thigh, arms reaching up if that's where they'll go. Make sure you're not holding the breath. As I release my arms and start to bring them down, I'm going to let that left arm swing all the way around to cartwheel me into Warrior B. Remember, focus the gaze over that middle finger so everything else blurs out. Reverse Warrior. Straighten out that front leg. Keep the legs, bring the arms back to Warrior B. Now reach out of the top hip and find Trikonasana, one of my favorite poses ever. Perfect. And then bend into that front leg as you bring the left arm down, pivot on the back foot, step back to plank. Happy place right here. Chaturanga. Into Cobra. Back to dog when you're ready. And then however you want to get to forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale it down. All the way up. Hands to the heart. Shift the weight into the left foot. Right foot is stepping back. Warrior A. Good job. Drop the arms, take them to Yoga Mudra. Humble Warrior when you're ready. So remember, we started to release the arms, let both arms drop towards the earth, but that right arm carries through to cartwheel you up. Warrior B. Reverse Warrior. Slowly straighten out that front leg and bring the arms back to Warrior B. Lean out of that top hip for Trikonasana when you're ready. Bend into the front knee as you bring the right hand down. Pivot on the back foot. Step back to plank. Chaturanga. Into Cobra. Guess where? Child's pose. And then inhale, table. Exhale, dog. Deep breath in. Loud exhale. Walk the feet forward halfway, cross an ankle in front of the other. Come on back to sitting on the mat. So we're going to go ahead and stretch the legs out in front of us, flexing both feet. Inhale the arms. Exhale, coming forward, Paschimottanasana. So depending on where you're at in this pose, well, I want you to think about a lengthening. Inhale, lengthening the crown of the head towards the top of the feet. Exhaling, sinking down. If you're super flexible and you know you can come down pretty far and you're not getting much out of this, if you have a block, put it at the base of the feet and then grab onto the block instead of the feet, because that'll help you as you pull. You can lengthen the crown of the head forward more. Good job. Slowly walk the hands back up and all the way back. Whew, perfect. Hug that right knee in. Left hand's going to stay on the right knee. Right arm is going to reach overhead. I just want you to soften that right shoulder though. Feel it touch the ground. If you have shoulder issues and the arm doesn't like being overhead like this, change it up. I'm going to run into the wall, but you can just bend the elbow, take it into scarecrow. No pain, right? We're taking our supine twist, so let the left hand pull that right knee across. You're going to do some shifting, right, to keep that right shoulder blade down. And when you get to your happy place, close your eyes. I want you to go within again. I guess what I kind of mean by that is I always visualize going into kind of the heart center space as though there are layers and layers and layers and you go deeper and deeper and deeper, right? I want you to do that. I want you to imagine that your inner warrior is waiting for you. So what does he or she look like? Can you feel, not just see, but can you feel her compassion for you? Her support. Remember we talked about having support that we can't see? Well, that's one avenue. Maybe it feels like, seeing an old friend you haven't seen in a long time. Maybe you feel like you want to hug your inner warrior. You should totally do that. Maybe you feel like she has a message for you. So tap into that and see what comes up. And then let's slowly come back to center. Bring that right arm back down. Stretch the leg out. Shavasana for a moment. While you're there, I'm going to turn around because I'll hit the wall on the other twist. So. When you're ready, hug that left knee in. Right hand is staying on the left knee. Left arm is reaching overhead unless your shoulder doesn't like that. Make sure you feel the shoulder and the shoulder blade touching the ground. And then the right hand will guide the left leg into the supine twist. Keep readjusting to keep the left shoulder down. And then close your eyes. Go back within, reconnect with your inner warrior. Spend some quality time there. When you're ready, go ahead and release. Bring the left arm back down. Find Shavasana for a moment. Do you feel how you can still be a warrior lying right here? That's the balance we're looking for. And then we're going to bend the knees, planting the feet on the mat, prepping for bridge. And then really pull that low back down. Feel the balls of the feet pushing into the earth. And then lift off. Lengthen out the back of the neck. Hold it here. I want you to hug the thighs in onto an imaginary block. The knees should remain hip distance apart, aiming straight up to the ceiling. Feet are facing forward. So don't let the feet go wide or pigeon-toed or something goofy like that. Keep them in line with the knees. And we're just going to play here a little bit. Drop the right hip. You might lower the left one just a little bit. I've dropped the right hip. It's not touching the mat. And then I'm going to rise back up and drop the left hip. So just letting the hips play here. Go back and forth. One more time each side. Lift all the way up into that full bridge. Big inhale. Exhale, slowly roll your way down. Hug the knees in. If you want to, you can lift the head and shoulders, get into a tiny ball here. Just kind of feeling the muscles in the back. Release. They helped us out getting us up into bridge, so just paying them a little kindness back. And slowly release down. Set the feet back on the earth. And then stretch the right leg up to the ceiling. Go ahead and interlace the hands behind the thigh. Option A, stay here. Option B, stretch out the left leg. Point through the ankle on that right foot. And then you can either keep hanging on to the leg, or for a little extra work, you can let go. It just depends on, can you hold the leg here or not. In cursive, one long word, I am a warrior. Go. Don't forget to dot the I. And when you're done, go ahead, bend the knees, stretch that leg out on the mat, close your eyes. Replant both feet. Send the left leg up to the ceiling. Point through the ankle. Decide if you want to keep the right leg bent or if you want to stretch it out. Decide if you want to hang on and help this leg out or if you want to let go. Same thing, one long word in cursive, I am a warrior. When you're done, release the leg, stretch it out. Look around your space. Is there anything you want to grab for Shavasana? If not, just settle yourself. Feel the shoulders sliding down the back. Palms are open. Feet are just gently falling wide. Close your eyes and trust that I'll come back in a moment to get you. Take your focus back to your breath and let the breath gradually start to deepen. Begin to bring movement back into the body. And when you're ready, go ahead and roll to a fetal position. And then see if you can keep your eyes closed as you gently push your way back up into a seated pose. Richard Heckler wrote, "The path of the warrior is lifelong, and mastery is often simply staying on the path." Take a deep inhale. Loud exhale. Take the arms all the way up. Bring the palms together and release them back home to your heart in prayer pose. The light in me bows to the light in you. When I'm in that place in me and you're in that place in you, then we become one. Namaste.